Hello Tubesters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. We did do this before yesterday. It turned out to be so long even I'd given up the will to live to read these out. Season's greetings to you. Happy Christmas, all that good stuff. No, I'm not very Christmassy, as you can see by the room. No Santa hats on, all that type of stuff. Towards the end of the year I always like to do a long list of shout outs that people that I've shouted out all through the year mainly. These are all people that have interacted with me on my channel, so yes, I reach out to other people's channels. Some people ignore me completely, and they're wise to. And others, they'll, especially like high-end modelers and painters, a lot of them are kind enough to acknowledge your comment, but they don't come and visit this channel, and I've no problem with that. I live under a stone in a very dusty corner of the YouTube universe, and I'm not exactly high on people's viewing lists, but these people have. In fact, I was only saying to myself when I wrote everybody's channels out, I realised that I knew all the names, and I mean all the names of these people. There's 42, and I know, everybody's first name. Fair enough, some of them probably fake, but I know them. So what I've done here is my YouTube channel. How I view people's videos, by the look of it, it's length of how many, the minutes that I've watched. Now, fair enough, there are some people like Sean from the Scale Model Car Guy channel who do big long videos, and I only watch 2 minutes of them. Let's face it, beginning and end. Now, I'm joking, Sean. I watch them all, I do. But yeah, I thought, well, it's always going to be the same people at the top read out first. Now, I know that none of you are really bothered, and maybe the people that half bothered to watch this video, as in none of these guys, they're not really, don't care who's, just here to see if there's anybody they want to see. So what I did was put one of them number generator doobries. Doobry in the UK is anything that we can't explain. So, yeah, a number generator. And so there were some people that were at the top and at the bottom. Yeah, but I just wanted to give it a shake-up really, just so that, because there are a lot of people, like old Tom, a good marrow of mine, but he makes very short videos, so actually it's quite down on my list when it comes to, I've got you all on the bell icon, but I just mean, when I look at it, he's quite down because he does very short videos. You thought by retirement now that he'd get hold of that, but not at the moment. I'd just like to say, before I give my shout-outs, I want to do a shout-out. I shout him out about 20 times a year. Cal, over at Brush and Quill, he does a pucker, another word, good UK word, a pucker, meaning proper more or less, a pucker shout-out where he does a proper advent calendar, little drawers, sometimes he wears a Santa hat when he wants to appear on face to camera, and he shouts out channels that you might not know of, that he's interested in, obviously. So please go and check him out. He will be down here somewhere, and he's doing proper shout-outs. Apart from a couple of guys that I have added into the mix, that I've only been dropping comments on my channel in the last month or so. So my little list is down here. I would have given these guys a shout-out anyway on their own standalone. I just thought it'd be easier to mix them in here with all my what I call regulars. Another word as well, I'm not including the names of the real nice people that put comments down. You know who you are. I'm not even going to start mentioning, which I do this every year, and then it's not fair because I leave people out. So all the guys that I class you as the same tubesters as these guys that make the content, because we all get the trolls, and I always say to you guys, the worst part are the people that are in our hobby that still have to make dark side comments, dark cloud comments at you, as I say, the sneerers out there. But these guys constantly, depending on what they like, whether my model making, my figure painting, whatever side they're on, they constantly put nice, well-meaning comments down, and I really appreciate that. Every one of you that do that, and we all say it. I'm genuinely saying that I mean it. I'm just not naming you because people come and go, and I'm bound to miss somebody that's been loyally putting comments down on my channel for years, and that's really wouldn't be fair. It's just easier with the channel guys. One, I'm trying to promote their channels for them, and two, it's just obviously I've got a list pre-made by YouTube, obviously, because I watch their stuff. Is that everything? I was going to say something else, but as usual, Gav, it's gone straight out the thing. Right, let's put the old reading bins on, or readers as we call them in the UK. Right, I can't even see where the thing is now. Right, I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible, because I say the last one went for hours and hours. I'm not going to be putting links to these guys. Hopefully some of them will be putting their responses, comments down in the, and just click on them and find them. They're all top people, and as I say again, I really appreciate their friendship over the well, some of them for years and years, but you know, yeah, let's just move on, Gav. Right, first, this guy, they say cream rises to the top. This guy, he's first out the back of the Hercules today, and that is Mad Genius Productions, and that's Joe. Yeah, can you believe it, Joe? I put a number generator on, and you were only about 4 from the top anyway before, and you've still managed to push your way to the ex-American footballer. What do you expect, eh? Just muscles his way through. Go and check out Joe, scale model builder, builds mostly anything, not many ships. Joe, come on, you live near the sea, Mara, and you can't build ships. Yeah, go and check Joe out. He's got giveaways going on at the moment, not because he's promoting himself, just because he's a nice bloke. So yeah, go and check Mad Genius Productions out. That's Joe. Number 2, again near the top, because he does long videos like me. His sense of humour is better than me, and he'd probably say he's definitely better looking than me. But he has other things going for him as well, as he's a really super model builder. Yeah, another scale modeler, and that's George at That Mofo Damon channel. Greece has produced Achilles, Perseus, Demis Roussos, and they've produced George, and he's one of the best out there, so go and check him out. Next, we've got from down in the Antipodes, the boil on the bomb of the world, we have Glenn, Mr. Hallidan in Australia. Boil on the bomb, don't take offence to that, Australasians. Yeah, the Hallidan channel. Glenn is a scale modeler, figure painter. He will take history and turn it on its head. I'll wait for you to go and check those things out yourself. Brilliant sense of humour, really supportive bloke, and I'm you know, glad that we're in contact, because he's a nice fella. So Glenn at the Hallidan channel. Number 4, we've got Lee, Mel and Jamie, and they are Battle Bunker HQ. These are wargamers. They make they paint their figures, they do a bit of their own terrain building, they do a lot of MDF building, and what I really love about these guys is, apart from them being, I keep saying this, you're all nice guys, because obviously I won't be watching you otherwise, but they really have such enthusiasm. You know, they just shine as people, really nice people, and I enjoy watching their stuff. And what Lee has started to do, he's only done one so far on Bavarians, but I can't remember the guy who owns Entoyment, and I can't even remember, is it in Paul Entoyment? I'm not sure, Lee, but it's a war game shop anyway, and they've got tables, gaming tables, like a lot of them doing that. But they've started doing history, or they've been doing it a while, history chats. I don't know if that's once a week, once a month, or whatever. And Lee's said to the owner, who's a friend of his, how about we film them? And I watched the one on the Bavarians, and I thought it was great. So well done, Lee. Nice presentation, and obviously the historian knew his stuff. So check out Battle Bunker HQ. Number 5, we've got old Tom, Mr. Rambler 69. Tom is one of the finest auto builders I've ever seen. Yeah, I know Gav don't know much about but car building and whatever, but I've always said, you know, quality work when you look at it. From the paint jobs, the scratch building, the foil work. He really knows his stuff, and he's got a love for his subject, and it always shines through. And I'm in contact with Tom, and yes, I know he keeps changing addresses and everything, but I always find it. He's a really nice bloke, so go and check Tom out at Ramblers69 channel. At number 6, we've got, and I should start marking these off actually, because we are going to get in a, hang on a second, got dry mouth already, Tea Slurpers Union. Let's call it a Brew Slurpers Union, because then that means any of you can get in on it. Right, number 6. From the East Midlands, I live in the West Midlands, this guy lives in the East Midlands. We have built a giant wall between us, but they still getting through. Anyway, it's Jason of Model Kit Stuff channel. He would class himself, because I know he said this, as a ship builder, but predominantly ships, and he even does wooden ships as well. But he does everything else in between. Aircraft, armour, cars, you name it, Jason's, done it at some stage. His channel's only been going for about a year. He's going through the stratosphere because he's one of these top model type people, and he's, like he said, he's been enjoying the YouTube vibe. That's really trendy, isn't it? The YouTube vibe. But yeah, go and check Jason out at Model Kit Stuff. You won't be disappointed. Leicestershire, you do. If you had any sense, you'd be in the Black Country. He could be an ambassador. Right, let's go on to 7. Oh no, this is a guy also in the east of the UK, more east than Jason, and that is Justin at the Miniature Painter. Justin will paint just about anything going. War Games figures extraordinaire, most scales catered for. Very enthusiastic about what he does. Very nice bloke. He's always up on other people's channels. No matter how much we try and shake him off, he still appears. And he's just a thoroughly decent human being. And if you like Napoleonics, if you like medieval, early medieval, there's a bit of like the 40 war game. Oh, come on, Gav. No, we'll just say 40k, because I've already forgotten what I was trying to say on that score. But all that type of stuff as well, you know what I mean? Fantasy, Space Marines, mainly historicals though. So please go and check out Justin. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Number 8, another wargamer. We've got Mary Hinge, otherwise known as Jim. And no, that's me. Jim hasn't been doing a lot of videos lately. But when he does, they're always interesting. He's big on his history. It's all historicals he does, and it could be from ancients. I believe American Civil War, Jim. Definitely Napoleonics, but more or less a bit of everything really. As I say, he loves his gaming, and he has been putting many videos up. But when I put some figures up, quite occasionally he'll turn up and drop a comment, and he always has done, and that's always been appreciated, Jim. So thanks for looking out on my channel, Mary. It's appreciated. Number 9. We have Clive from Clive's modelling channel. No, Clive doesn't go down catwalks, anything like that. Used to do a few swimsuit shoots, but soon had to, when they told him to put a, no, we won't go down that road. No, no, this is clean viewing. Anyway, check out Clive at Clive's modelling channel, because he is an extraordinary bloke doing extraordinary things with model aircraft. I think he prefers the 1 in 32 scale, so that's the big boys aircraft, rather than, like say, the 1 in 72s that I occasionally build. He does some 1 in 48s as well, mainly jets. Has done a bit of armour as well, does the odd figure. Again, bloke with a great sense of humour, absolute chaos on his videos. When you've got 5 kids, I think, believe under the age of 11 or 10, and the youngest is, I don't know, Clive, I'm not very good, I don't have kids, what, 9 months, 12 months, but he's chaos, just like his desk. But he just gets on with it, he don't ask for anything off anybody, he just does his thing. So yeah, go and check out Clive from Clive's modelling channel. a fairly new one. This is one of the guys I was going to shout out anyway. This is John from Jost Scale Modelling, German channel. Just put the subs on. It's quite easy to follow. It's something a bit like mine in a way. You know, he does a bit of everything: figures, kits, busts, large scale figures, obviously scale models. You name it, John has a go at it, and I was quite impressed with what I've seen. And hopefully we'll hang around on each other's channels a fair bit in the future. But I wanted to put John in there because I would have given him a shout out. It's just come at this time of year, so let's get you in there, John. So Jost Scale Modelling. I hope I've pronounced that right. As I said to you before, I wasn't intelligent enough to do languages at school. I wasn't intelligent enough to pass most of the exams that I did at the end of school, but hey, that's another subject. Right, number 11, Rob from Rims Models. If it's an interior kit, he'll build it, especially if it's a mini art kit. The bloke, he puts. I could cry. I've got, as you know, I fell on my face with my first full interior kit, and only full interior kit, T55. Well, no, FT17. Fell on my face on both of them. I've got the same kit. My wife bought it me, if you remember, years and years ago. If you remember, well, a couple of years ago, on videos. I've got exactly the same kit. I'm going like this. It's not even in that thing. It's out there and around the corner, but it's in my stash. And I keep saying when I've got the skills to build, I will build it because I like the T55. But anyway, we're going away from Rob here. Rob does lorries, that's trucks to you outside the UK, as in military stuff from mini art, full interior, First World War. That have been turned into civilian use. He had to go on one of them. I was going to call it the coal truck, but I think in the end he did the builders merchants one. He's done repair wagons, so we call them wagons again sometimes for the word of trucks. But he does all that. He's doing a T55 build at the moment, absolutely cracking build. Bloke's a genius when it comes to full interior kits, or kits in general. But yeah. Oh, by the way, Rob. Bit of Michael Caine there because I've got the Michael Caine glasses on. If you get a chance, do the mini art Chevrolet World War II American lorry, will you? It's one I've wanted to do myself. I ain't got the nerve to do it, so I'd like somebody to do it. maybe I might get the confidence to have a go. So yeah, check out that one, Rob, when you got 5 minutes, will you? Right, so that's Rob from Rims Models. Now we've got Steve. Not many people don't know Steve Jones at Scale Models. The bloke is an icon of the scale model building world. What I've always said this about Steve, said it to him, said it to you guys. There's no airs and graces with Steve. You know, he's a top builder, he does competitions, goes in magazines, all that type of stuff, but he's got no problem showing you how he does stuff and answering your questions if you've got any. And I think to have top builders, or top painters if you're into figure paint, if you've got these people in the community, I'm not on about the polished channels, we all know Night Shift, Plasmo, loads of them, and I'm not knocking these guys because I watch them all, I think they're brilliant. But a lot of us don't have the time or even the skills to do all the editing and spend a week doing it because, you know, everyone's got a day job. But Steve, he puts a hell of a lot in. He's gone over the 1,000, and then now he should be hitting the stratosphere at some stage. So go and check out Steve at Steve Jones at Scale Models. All round decent bloke. Right, now we're going over to France. We've got Phil from Phil R Miniatures. Now Phil has been supporting my work, whether on my old blog that I don't do anymore. You name it. I've known Phil around probably longer than I've known most of anybody on here. You know, he's a really nice bloke. His videos, we're just waiting for Spielberg or Lucas to tap him on the shoulder and get him over to Hollywood to do some of their stuff for him. He makes, for those people that aren't into wargaming, he makes it interested in bite-sized chunks, and that draws people in. It draws people into history because he's a historical gamer, and it whets people's appetite for even fellow war gamers. You know, that they'll see a period that Phil's got on his table, and then yeah, I like that, I might have a go. Lovely figures too, Phil. Check out Phil R Miniatures. Right, now this guy again needs no introduction. He's plastered himself all over the internet. They are wanted posters, but he still gets himself around. And that's Sean at the Scale Model Car Guy channel. Name in the title. Also, he has a stash as big as that name as well. Again, fantastic bloke. Never sends me a Christmas card. What can you do? There's bigger channels out there, you know what I mean? Never mind. But he's a really nice fella, and he's got a great sense of humour. Again, he'll shout out channels, and he does all his unboxings, most of which go straight over my head. But I watch because it's old vintage cars, and I don't really know a lot about them, especially American cars, you know. But yeah, I watch him because I like Sean. I like his enthusiasm. As I say, I watch some channels. I don't always know what I'm looking at completely, but you get drawn into it because you enjoy what his enthusiasm and what he's doing. So go and check out Scale Model Car Guy channel, and that's Sean. Let's just mark him off there. Right, it's almost his twin, and with a different spelling of his name, but the same. We've got Sean again from Shauno's World of Chaos. I think it used to be Shauno's World of Figures. Sean, like me, isn't exactly up there with technology. Press the wrong button, he suddenly became this year's Shauno's World of Chaos. What can you do? I'm not going to joke at him too much, because although I make a lot of stuff up about you guys, which I haven't actually done on this one, which I did in the first video, and that's why it was so long. So we've not got as many funnies in this one. But he is a registered, he should be registered, a registered boxing coach, maybe even manager, I'm not sure, but he does all that stuff. So go and check out Sean. He does wargame figure painting. He's done the odd bust as well, but wargame figure painting mainly. He's doing his 6mm at the moment, but 6mm, 10mm, 28s, you name it, Sean's had a go of it, and he goes through, like me, history like a butterfly. So go and check out Sean. Thoroughly decent bloke, and he's from the northeast of England. Let me see. Now, again, somebody else who doesn't need any example. I do believe this fella at the moment is somewhere going around the Midwest or the north of the United States in a Sonny and Cher tribute act. I think he's playing Sonny. And that's Jeff from Jeff's Model Garage. Garage, you see, not garage. Should be garage around here. If you say garage around here, they'd just look at you gone out. But yeah, he's not done a lot of videos because he's a very busy bloke. Singing "I've Got You, Babe" and all that type of stuff. But yeah, it'll be nice when he's got 5 minutes to himself and he can put a video up. And he'd be dead chuffed because he's got above Charlie Mack. Nothing to do with me, Charlie. Number generator. So yeah, so that's Jeff from Jeff's Model Garage. Now we've got this guy is World History Miniature House, and it's Robert. Now Robert, I am not sure if you're in France or Sweden. Oh, he said Sweden then. Switzerland as a French-speaking Swiss. I'm not 100% sure. I presume France. Please put it in the comments. I'd like to know. But Robert, he is literally making all sections of history in dioramas, one little bit at a time. He can be doing, were they Aztecs or they Mayans? I can't remember, and I get them mixed up. Aztecs, Mayans. He's actually going along with me at the moment for the Joachim's and Marcus's group build on artillery. We both happen to choose the American-Mexican War, 1846 to 1848. But yeah, he does dios with 1 in 72 plastic figures, painted plastic figures. Dios are extraordinary. He'll build Mayan temples, you name it. He has a go at it. It takes him months, but you wouldn't believe so when he speeds the videos up. But cracking work. So go and check Robert out, and that's World History Miniature House. Another good, well, they're all good marriers of the channel, but somebody whose work I also like, scale model building wise, and that's Andrew Shaw of Andrew Shaw Models. Andrew does mainly, if I'm right, World War II subjects. I don't know, Andrew, if you've done modern stuff, but again, they're usually well built, painted, weathered armoured vehicle with figures, and sometimes he'll convert figures and do bits and pieces with them, far above my pay grade, and he'll put them in a diorama setting with whatever he decides to, model buildings, trees, hills, you name it. Really nice work. Not overly long videos, unlike mine, because he does them all in a slideshow format, and he puts all his words up and everything. But that's no problem. As I say, it's really nice eye candy. So go and check out Andrew at Andrew Shaw Models. Now at 19, it's like top of the pops is. We've got Greg Riley of Greg Riley's 1 in 35 scale models. Most of you know Greg. He's another guy whose channel is I think he's got about 3,000 subs, he was saying. Hang on a second. Slurp. He's been such a help to me over the years. Obviously he sends me stuff, but that's not the point. He's just been a good marrow, and he's a bit under the weather at the moment. No COVID, I believe it is. He said man flu, but obviously, he's got a immune suppressant and everything from after his huge titanic battle with cancer that he literally jumped all over, smashed it to pieces. Well done, Greg, on that. But yeah, he brilliant builder. He'll always come up with ways of doing stuff. I love his unboxings because, like Sean at Scale Model Car Guy channel, he's got a stash that he needs a separate house just to put it all in, which means though we get to see lots of kits that he unboxes. So look after yourself, Greg, and go and check out Greg Riley at Greg Riley's 1 in 35 scale models. Right, another scale model builder. He's not around in the warmer times of the year because he's in Belarus, and he has to, obviously with his work and that, he has to fit his models in, and that is Mike, and with most of us know Mike from Bassmaster Models. Good marrow of the channel. Really like the fella. He does mainly World War II Soviet stuff, and he tends to do what he called command cars, so small vehicles. I'd like to see you do, Mike. You might be doing it for the artillery build, because I swear sorry, my pop arches in the background. I believe you're doing the gun, and I did see, was it a Lend-Lease truck in the background on the thing? It'd be nice to see you do that American Lend-Lease truck, because it's obviously in Soviet stuff, and ICM have brought it out. So I wonder if you're going to do that. Archie, knock it off. Right, sorry about that. Archie wishes you all a Merry Christmas. Bassmaster Models, so Mike, go and check Mike out, lovely fella. 21, we've got Cal at Brush and Quill, who I mentioned at the top of the show. Delusions of Grandeur. Cal is so supportive of other people's work and videos, and he's doing, as I say, his own shout outs at the moment, one every day of the month, and he's got a vast and varied range of channels that he can shout out. So go and check him out. His own work literally 6mm, drop zone commanders, 28mm naps, a bit of everything that he decides. Steampunk, if he does cyberpunk, but he does steampunk, does all that type of stuff. So go and check out Cal at Brush and Quill. Then we're going over to the Netherlands to Frank at Frank's Miniatures. Frank again does bits of everything, really, mainly figures, war games figures, 1 in 35 scale figures. Pops up occasionally with a new video, and it's often he might have 2 or 3 subjects on the go. Again, really nice bloke. So go and check out Frank at Frank's Miniatures, and Frank's in the Netherlands. Now, I hardly ever visit this guy. It's mainly because a lot of it's into die cast and that. Not always, but it's not what I do. But I'll shout out. I mean, I do regular shout outs for this guy because he's been a real support on my channel, and I always appreciate it. And that's Big Charlie at Big Charlie's Model Garage. I really always say garage. But when it's talking about an American channel, I suppose I better call it garage. Big Charlie's Model Garage. Again, bits of models, bits of like normal die cast, bits of the big Tonka type die cat, not die cat, but you know, the pressed metal and all that. He does it. Go and check out Big Charlie's Model Garage, and yeah, that's Big Charlie. Next, from sunny South Wales, when it's not raining, we have Ian Aitken. Now, Ian Aitken's another marrow of mine that I've known now through, you know, met through YouTube, and I know him now, you know, as somebody that I contact occasionally, and he contacts me. Ian, at the moment, is doing fantastic work with his 3D printed Star Wars figures, Stormtroopers. He's doing little dios of those. He's doing larger stuff. He's obviously known like me. We knew each other through the Harry Potters. Actually, we loved all that stuff, and we're both taking a rest from that at the moment. And at the moment, you can't get it hangs on the Harry Potter stuff anyway. But really nice bloke. Again, he's been really supportive of me, and I can't say enough good words about him. He took a small hiatus from YouTube for a couple of months, but I think he never left. He might not have left Instagram. Go and check him out on Instagram, Dark Blade Workshop. So that's Ian Aitken, and thoroughly decent bloke. Now, another fella, Greg's Models. Now, Greg, he's a channel that again just went through the stratosphere, you know, from a few hundred to 6,000 or 7,000 now, because people just know him as a absolute top skills modeler, and he's really down to earth. He's got a great sense of humour. He's down to earth. He's always done his best to answer a comment that I've put down. Occasionally turns up here and drops a comment. I've just got a lot of time for the fella. I've got a lot of time for people that are what I call, it's not hero worship, it's like they're at the higher end of the scale of what I do, but they know where they've come from, you know what I mean? They've got no problems interacting with people that aren't as skillful. Where you get other people, it becomes almost like a closed shop, you know, that you're not in the gang, so why do I need to bother with you? So yeah, it's say wish Greg more success. Oh, by the way, mainly aircraft, does a few bits of armour when he's and the odd car as well. Not seen him do any ships, or I don't believe he's done any spacecraft and that. But this is a bloke who scratch built a British Sten gun. And it was brilliant, you know what I mean? Just go and check him out, Greg's Models, and obviously that's Greg. Another top class modeler, and a bloke that again I am in occasional contact with. This is I don't know why I've put Greg twice there, because it's not Greg, it's Frederick from the Hobby Shack, from Sweden. Frederick, again, sometimes he might have a couple of things on the go at once, but he will have a go at most things. Again, I've seen him do cars, put one little dioramas. He did his shot down Huey in a swamp, you know, a bit of a busted up kit that he turned into something else. He'd done that T-55 that we were building together. He didn't do the full interior, but even if mine wasn't the full interior, I still wouldn't have been able to build it. It was just, and that's nothing against, by the way, the mini art kits. Just at the moment, I just do not have the skills with my busted head to seem to get things to go straight. Never mind. But yeah, please check out Frederick at the Hobby Shack. He puts a lot into his model builds, and he should be up there thousands with what he puts into it and how he helps fellow modelers out. When we're going up to Scotland, we've got Paul Alba, Gaelic word for Scotland, who says I'm not bilingual. Yeah, Paul I've known for years, one of the people I have known on here for years and years, going back to our old days on the chats and everything. brilliant AB painter. That's the 18mm that you see me paint a lot of, and does a bit of 28mm work as well. Sometimes ACW, the odd medievals, but he's big into his 20mm World War II. He's he puts out armoured vehicles like a Russian production line, and small short videos as well. So any of you that can't be bothered with my type of stuff, go check him out, because they're only tiny videos, but really well worth looking at. So that's Paul at Paul Alba channel. The Grana Priego channel. I never get Anthony. I say it and it sounds right, and then I can actually come out to say it on video and I never get it. Never mind. Most of you know Anthony. I've shouted him out a load of times. He's well into his 28mm World War II. No, he isn't, Gav. He's well into his 28mm Napoleonics. But he does a host of other stuff. At the moment, I haven't seen his video yet, but I saw it come up. And that is, he's going back over armies that he's built up over the years. These are War Games figures. And he's going to start showcasing some of those as well. Some of his old armies he's put together and been in boxes for a while. So go and check Anthony out. He always puts a bit of history into his videos as well, so you always learn a bit along the way. And that's Grana Priego channel. We've got Military Model Paul. Not done a lot of videos lately. And he's just, I think, to be honest with you, he's just been tilting away at his bench doing his stuff. You know what it's like. A lot of people drop out of YouTube or go to really doing it on just make a few videos a year. But I really like Paul. He's a nice fella, great sense of humour. His builds are impeccable, and you can learn a lot from the fella. So go and check out Military Model of Paul, please. We've got to number 30. We're almost there. Mr. Hamilcar Barkass, Michael. Now, Mike's got a channel that's 30,000 plus, and I've said this over and over again. He's another fella that constantly has time for people with smaller channels. So many times when people, and I can understand it, because so many, when you've got a giant channel, you can't always answer everybody's comments. It's I only get like 10 comments, and it can take me right. I'll go into a bit of depth, I know, just as doing my videos, but it can take me 40 minutes. And if you've got like 30-40 comments, sometimes you just can't do it. But I always say he doesn't forget where he's come from. He does a massive range of scale modelling, a few aircraft, mainly. Well, it's hard to pin him down really, Mike, but mainly we'll say armour, but with aircraft in, mainly that sphere, but with, again, on the same wavelengths a bit, does a lot of display figures. So the larger figures, 75mm, 54mm, 75mm mainly, 90mm, well worth checking out. In German, just put the subs on, ain't gonna kill you, it's worth your time. Really nice fella, Michael. So thanks for the support, Mike, over the years. Another great friend of the channel, all great friends of the channel, but Victor, that's nice. Yeah, one name. Victor, Vic's Miniatures. A bit like this channel, in the sense of he'll do some wargaming figures. He's heavily into his cars these days, does scale model cars. He does a few military builds as well. Loads of display busts and display figures. Always got a good sense of humour. Comes up with a lot of good ideas and how-tos, that type of thing. And I've known Victor for a good few years on YouTube now, and it's been a pleasure. Really nice bloke. Another really nice fella. I'm not sure Jeff would agree, so that's already a hint. We've got Charlie Mack. Yes, Charlie. Charlie says it like it is. I think that's what a lot of people like the fella for. Jeff. But Charlie Mack builds just about everything. He's got a particular love of we say 1920s cars, the really old ones, from just before the Great War, First World War. He does a lot of that, but he does everything in between. He will do I saw him do I believe it was the Frankenstein one. I can't remember now, but he does all these big older kit figures for the fantasy, not fantasy, but like Batman and all that type of stuff, and do Batman. Oh, I'm mocking this up, Charlie, now. But anyway, he does just what I'm trying to say. He does about everything. He's done sports bikes from Tamiya. He's done always doing aircraft, a whole host of aircraft. It can be jets, whatever's in his stash. Out it comes on the build table, gets it done. Always got a good sense of humour, and again, he's somebody that he's one of these that our dusty corner revolves around a bit like the sun. Do we revolve around the sun? I can never remember. Education, you see, it's a good thing if you actually can take it in. Right, so yeah, Charlie Mack. Go check out Charlie. We've got Rick at Down the Throat Models, because he used to be a submariner. He'll do just about anything going as well. Yes, of course, there'll be the odd ship on the go, but he will do cars, space, rockets, you name it. Rick's had a go of it. So go and check out Down the Throat Models, and that's Rick. Where are we? Hang on, people. Right, we're down to the last few now. I know. Come up for air, Gav. Number 34, another scale model. There's a lot of scale model builders on here. And that's Chris at CD Scale Models. Some of Chris's hot rod work has been absolutely stunning. I don't get to watch all his videos for some reason. Sometimes they're, when they do it for not for kids or something like that, you press that button, and then for some reason, although Google's got my birth date, it keeps telling me I'm not. It doesn't recognise my age unless I give them either a photograph of my credit card or my driver's licence. I mean, in this day and age, really, with all the stuff that's going on. So I've got to say, the last probably 6-8 videos Chris has done, I've probably been able to see 2 of them. I still always check it out to see if I can watch, because he's a brilliant bloke, and I really enjoy watching what he's doing. But sometimes I'm sorry, Chris, I'm not giving them my details like that when they've already know how old I am. Right, so anyway, CD Scale Models, that's Chris. Automotive modelling, I should say. Anything car related, Chris builds it. And he does a few hints and tips as well. Number 35, we've got Terry from Terry Crick channel, like mine, a name. Terry, wargame figure painter mainly. He has to put up with a really tight workspace, which he often has to pack away and restart again, which is never easy. Unlike a lot of us that have the at least can keep stuff out on the desk till when we return to it. He loves his military history. He'll sometimes show some books and whatever he's gone. Sometimes he goes on holiday to Scotland. Well, sometimes he seems to be permanently going to Scotland on holiday. But he'll take a few blustery videos of different battlefield sites and things like that. Again, really supportive of me. Always been appreciative of that, Terry. So go and check out Terry Crick, please. Another guy that's fresh really to the channel only in the last 6 weeks or so probably, and that's Jared at Jared B Models. From what I can see, automotive and military. He's doing a jet as well on the back burner. As I'm making my frigate on the back burner, he's doing a jet. He's made some very nice comments on my stuff. He doesn't have a huge sub count. I would hope that especially the scale model car guy community go and get behind him and push his subs up a lot more, because he deserves a lot more. He's very supportive. So if you aren't into if you're into the figure side of it, and that a lot of these, a lot of people won't cross over. Although most of these people are here because they do cross over onto, they're happy to see other people's enthusiasm with almost related stuff. But yeah, if you're scale model car guys, especially Americans, he's American, go and give him a sub if you've got the time, because I think he needs a bunk up over the wall. So assault courses in the army, you know, over the war. Go around as a team effort, guys, team effort. So yeah, go and get Jared some subs if you can. 37, we've got James, the Canuck, living in Japan, and it's Mr. JVC, well not Mr. JVC Paints, Wargamer, anything to do with wargaming really. He's been a bit slower this year, I think, James. I think that's fair to say with some of the videos. He's fell out of love with it a bit. But when he does put a video up, it's for Ancients, World War II. I think he's doing a Reichstag and everything at the moment in MDF, all that stuff. Again, good sense of humour. Always been supportive of my channel, which has always been appreciated. And again, very nice bloke. So that's JVC Paints, and that's James. Down to the last few guys. Now we've got Joachim at Urama Model Bow. Joachim's running along with his mate Marcus from Scalebench, is running a group build at the moment that a lot of us are in, because Joachim does the 1 in 72 scale, mainly World War II stuff, but he enjoys seeing other people's figures, scale modelling of any description, as a scale modeller himself. Which means when they came up with the idea of this group build, obviously I was involved in the planning and thinking of it, but what I'm saying is what I really appreciated was they managed to pull in people like myself. Now I've got to say I don't do group builds very often. You all know I've got a messed up head and I can't do pressure that you would not think is pressure. Is a lot of pressure for me, and it just burns me out. But I happen to have bought that field gun because I'm doing the Mexican-American War, 1846 to 1848. And it's just a 18mm thing, but people like me can get in on it. You know, it's so you're being more inclusive, if that makes sense. You know, you're saying you can do this a bit like Charlie Mack, which is another group build which I'm hoping to get into later on in next year. He's doing a D-Day. No, he's not. He's doing a Pearl Harbor group build to commemorate Pearl Harbor, but he's thought it out and said, how about we do, and it doesn't have to be an aircraft, say, or a ship that's at Pearl Harbor, anything up to the date of Pearl Harbor. You can build anything, cars, whatever, and again it makes it inclusive for people that wouldn't say might be military orientated but might be cars. They can go and pick a car. You know, you name it. You might like civilian aircraft and not military, so you could do some form of civilian stuff. You can do it's a group build. I've never actually seen if he probably said if there was figures involved. I will be doing a model aircraft, probably. But that's what I'm trying to get at. You know, that Joachim and Marcus here have opened it so that a lot of people that watch their channels that aren't necessarily scale mod, because I do cross over both hobbies, but a lot of the people that are getting involved in this don't do scale models, but they can put field pieces and whatever in the war game side of it, and it's all classed in the same group build, and that's brilliant, very inclusive. I like that. So good luck with that, guys. But yeah, go check out Urama Model Bow. Joachim's all over our channels. You see him pop up everywhere. So I think the least people can do is go and check him out and hopefully give him a sub if you haven't already. We've got another Terry here from Granddad's Art Space. He's not been around for a couple of months, but he has put a lot of kind words down over my channel over the rest of the year. So hope Terry's okay. Could just be he's got the Christmas stuff on the go and all that, and also it just burns people out. I've always said YouTube for me was never going to be a hobby. It's a way of sharing. Somebody who doesn't get out and see people, it's a way of me sharing my hobby or hobbies with like-minded people, you know. But YouTube is not a hobby in itself. That's why you don't get the edited videos and all that good stuff. It's just so it could just be and so as I say, sometimes people just say, no, I just can't be bothered, I just want to do my own stuff without having to keep clicking a video camera on. I understand that. Anyway, go and check out Grandad's Art Space. Terry, by the way, does mainly war games figures. He's done 40k figures, historical figures, you name it, and he does them to a nice standard, and you'd be you'll enjoy going and check him out. Down to number 40, we've got Nob over at Panzermeister in Japan. Mainly reviews of different armour kits, mainly, not exclusively, but mainly World War II down into the 1930s, I would say. And he really loves, Nob really loves opening up a kit, and you can tell the enthusiasm he's got for it. And it's handy because if you are out for a particular vehicle, you can see what his videos he's put up and say, I'll give that a miss, or yeah, I like that, so it's always a hand to go and see that. So check out Panzermeister, and that's Nob in Japan. We've got, this is somebody else who was near the top, near the bottom when the number generator mixed everybody up. We've got Mike from Mike Hintz of Mike's Miniatures. This is his channel, Gav, so let's get it right. Mike Hintz, Mike's Miniature Motors. Sorry, Mike. Mike's in Texas, and believe it or not, he does cars. And he's collected. He's one of these that's held on to his model cars for years, and he does Throwback Thursdays, and he shows kits that he's built in the past, which he still has in his display cabinets. He's usually got a few things on the go. They're always enjoyable to watch. They're not huge long videos, again, unlike this one, so you've got plenty of time to see it. So go and check out Mike. Very nice bloke, being really supportive of my work. To say that we do two different things, he don't care. He just gets in there and watches my videos, and just really enjoys them. So, and the last one, we've got Jens at Tabletop Generals. And Jens is a full-on wargamer and a really nice bloke, does his videos in German and English, and I really enjoy his stuff. Well painted figures, brilliant terrain on the table and everything. I'm not you'll often find me missing from the comments on battle reports, because that's not my type of thing, but yeah, really enjoyable. So that's it, guys. As Gav puts his massive tone down. I hope you're all doing well. I won't go on much longer because it's obviously been massive, but I wanted to give those guys a shout out. There are other guys I've probably missed. It's not intentional. There are some guys I've probably missed intentionally. joke. But yeah, it's not intentional. I just I just wanted to shout these guys out, particularly because they're always interacting with me, and I can't do much for them, but hopefully if we can move their sub counts forward, then that's all good. So a Merry Christmas from Gav and the channel, and we will speak very soon.